catch them on the flank, but I believe Life has spotted it.
He did. He was ready for that. You know, only peeked up the top, gave the info to Lysaurus. Good for one. The Sheriff, though, running low on ammo. Flash comes through. He won't dodge it. Now they're right on top of him. Easy trade for Heretics, but the site is claimed. FPX knew the ground they'd given up. Life up top looks to take it all the way onto Boo. And now they've got a foothold, an aggressive one that Heretics will have to fight for. And they win their first duel.
Aya's still up there, though. They might not expect the second, but they're playing as a unit.
So 1-0 we start. Rifles coming through, and I'm excited by what I'm seeing. There's still 15 seconds left. They could easily decide to sell some of these weapons.
You're going to talk about
what am I going to say? Goddamn right. It's an outlaw on Mini Boo and a Jet. I'm to stop them in their tracks. It's to wait and retake it as a unit. Already finding one with the outlaw. The players on backside might have a chance with the classics catching them off guard. Decent damage to Benji.
How much they can get in terms of the kills, though. Not really playing alongside each other. A little bit further back for Autumn, and it makes this training quite a bit easier. One kill at least. Make things that a little bit more costly, but you can see Rien's only having a pistol. It's not really going to force any rebuys for the next. Benji sitting back. He should be able to clear at least some of the trips. Make sure that they're not going to be able to hold on to that ground, although saying that, it seems like they're both still standing. Yeah,
there was a clear idea from Heretics to change their setup. Boo goes to the A site this round. Traps are here to try to catch these players as they make their way in or out of the site. But now the traps are down. Benji has been blitzed on, and with this FPX, able to fall back, playing a lot of players in main. They've lost their mid control, but that's not that big of a stress this late in the round. Main thing is keeping Life on the site and having the support to cover him as they cross. Even the TPUs to get out of there, and now standard post plants on a long range angle down an alleyway. Already finding Mini Boo, and even if they smoke this one off, it's going to be hard to get this stuck all the way with a big swing. Gravwell keeps them back a moment, buys them time, but not quite enough.
Yeah, it definitely came close. Aya tagged Life as well, so there was potential for them to try and bring that back, but the Gravwell couldn't have the FPX are using against a lot of teams because they're not going to be massively well prepped. But it seems like for Heretics, they have a decent idea of what they're going to be doing. They're playing this map because you've got yourself Aya with a bit of extra cash. The same can be said for Life, which, hey, again, you put him in the right position and things can definitely go their way. I feel like the problem with this...
Well, a shock dart sent through, picking off one, damage done, Berlin down to 62. FPX don't have a lot to work with here. Obviously, still the rifle on Aya, but the rest of the squad just with pistols, and well, they are going to need a big performance to make this one. It's not about winning it. It's about keeping that economy managed on the Team Heretic side. They can't have all 5 players carrying rifles through to the next round, and at least there's the first to fall. Mini Boo with Woot and Rien super low. This could still be an okay round in terms of economy damage for the attackers.
He is dead. Like, unless Boo makes a massive mistake, I don't think there's any way that Aya's going to survive.
No, of course not. It's not an angle you will usually clear, and not one that you can from the position he was in. Free for Boo. Even at the information with the trap being broken earlier, and obviously the steps were loud as can be. Autumn with a chance. There's one, and low HP on Rien's if he can isolate the fight, but he wants the rifle, and Benji's guarding it. 4-1, a solid start to this defensive side. Heretics lose their third round, one that they're kind of both of these players we've seen anchoring sites now committed to holding the angles. Decoy is the one that's sent through. It's not even going to be touched. They allow it to fade into insignificance. Trap, luckily, not going to catch anyone. Aya's able to destroy it in time, and they've claimed the space. Now the rotations come in from Heretics. Now they look to defend that B site or even to retake it, but little do they know the spike is going elsewhere. All they have to do on this site is buy time, and Aya's done a good job of that. Autumn might not be able to get out of here, but look at Lysaur's position, sneaking up through mid, cutting this defense apart, and Autumn's even picked another.
It's a double dip, almost a triple dip. They sell an initial fake, throw it into it, what seems like a take of the B site, and then throw it back over to A again. That was really nice. Incredibly complicated. And even sending a couple of players into that site, and then going back in the other direction with, what, 20 seconds left on the clock? I think the main point of that round, though, was Lysaur. Just having him still in middle, leaving Autumn as the secondary lurk. It's a bit of a gamble, keeping both players here, even having a rotation out from the side of Woot as well, who has been hitting his shot so far. Boo even going to just be waiting behind, but it's almost just a peek out straight behind the utility. Boo goes down, Benji is still here, looking to try and fight on top of it. He almost gets 2. The second player so desperately low, even knows that he's still on this corner. Just waiting for someone to try and swing around that corner. I think he's got him dead to rights, a second to his name. But that wraparound, they're waiting for it, they're trying to watch for it, and almost getting that information might just give the game away. Berlin still managing to fight back with another.
To do is get towards this side as well. They have the pit if things start to go wrong, but unlikely to be used in a round where there's mostly weaker weapons. Instead, this ultimate, the dimensional drift is used. Get into the site, root out all these players, grab the info, go for a very aggressive peek. The flash even thrown through by Woot gets nothing, and the control swinging clearly in favor of FPX. A 5 versus 2. There'll be no pit used this round, I'll guarantee you of that. With a plant on the bridge, this round has become very difficult for Heretics to even find anything in. You're talking about economy damage at this point, and it's one man, make that no man. Aya's had a hell of a round.
Lose to pistols. As said, the opponents can be incredibly dangerous on the side of Heretics with those pistols in hand, and he was able to make sure there at least wasn't a direct stack on the side. Although there was 3 players around, and Aya, well, he kind of dealt with those.
Aya's extremely low, but so too is Woot.
Oh, hello.
Crash still there to be used. Big backside push. Berlin holds the line for a moment, but then Woot on his low HP, the one to trade out, pick up the double. At least FPX scrambling.
Mid just to clear out that lurk. I think Rian's just had enough. He's like, he's going to be here. I'm going to check. But again, it's an opening left on that A site, which is going to be a plant. Viper's Pit available, and there's nothing that anyone can do to stop this, other than maybe Blind Hunter's Fury to try and deny the plant. That might slow them down a bit, and that is what he's going to go for. It's not hit.
It was close, but unfortunately it comes at the cost of his life, with Life himself being the one to grab that kill. Bladestorm, we just heard it activated by Miniboo. They're going to commit to this, and going through that Viper's Pit with the blades gone, and they can't deal with Life. FPX, this started out abysmal for him, but they've taken the lead.
And this round again was just, the mid-round calling has been exceptional. Like, we have seen different moments where they start one. Was the guy who got the kill on Rian's?
Oh, no!
Oh, no. No, look away. Look away.
When you talk about Miniboo being self-critical, I hope he can let that one go. That's a rough one.
I hope other people can let that one go as well. I think that's going to be in a montage or 2.
They only had proxy.
No, it's just fear. He saw into Berlin's eyes. Maybe Miniboo has nightmares of Berlin in more ways than one.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. 4 players to try and find anything again. I feel like we've been saying this a lot. Just an attempt to do damage. And, wow, Woot's going to get one for free. That's not too bad. Trade eventually there from Aya. Keeping them honest. No ultimates if they needed them, but I don't think they will. This is now falling perfectly into place for the side of FPX. 6-4 from what was, correct me if I'm wrong, 4-1. They have now managed to streak themselves 5 rounds in a row.
As we speak. But the time here is a big problem.
They've had it for a while. They could section things off. There you go. Space taken, but they have to deal with Life.
They also have to be quick because Berlin's on the way up behind, and if he finds that space before they've claimed the site, this could be an absolute disaster. Problem is, denying this defuse is very difficult. Oh, the run through is good, and the shorty comes out for more! A gorgeous play from Autumn!
Jumps in, sprays ones down, and then gets the second with the shorty. Like, and the Cosmic Divide was great, but again, when you're up against a team like this who have no fear, they don't mind playing through your utility, you have to basically body check them into not playing confidently, and I don't think anybody's managed to do that ever. Instant death to the side of this attack. They're taking the space, jumping up. Benji's found the first. Holding that line, but it's not clean, it's not pretty. Well, Aya's managed to take him down. Timer ticking and the spike still in an awkward spot, but again, he's always there. Always behind. The timing's going to be everything, though, as Rians drops another. He's heard the steps of Miniboo coming behind him. He's trying to catch this guy off guard instead, and now looks to switch back. That plant is just about going to be coming in time. And they've still got to worry about that flank.
Yeah, it's made its way up top now, and, well, it doesn't look like the flank's the main problem. Berlin's holding strong. Autumn's here to support, although he's lost his head. Now the flank going to be dealt with, but ammo is the main concern. 8-4 as we close out this half, and FPX, they were 4-1 down.
Yeah, this was just an impressive dismantling. I've really enjoyed the way that we've seen mid-round switch-ups, more direct takes. As I said, I think the calling, honestly, from the side of FPX has been utterly essential.
We've got Miniboo 3-10. He fell off the map as well. I mean, as far as confidence builders go, this has been a disaster of a start.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it doesn't get much worse. And just look at already what's being attempted. You got the Viper screen down in case they needed to cover mid, but instead they've just TP'd right into it. Benji though has managed to catch the first player. I want to point out there was more than one. Berlin is still going, but it seems like Boo is very aware of the potential of further aggression, the bonus or something of that sort. It's definitely not an ideal scenario. But I will say, from what we've seen, at least in the pistol, they're aware of what's going to be attempted by FPX. The thing is, they've cooked up a lot of stuff on this map. I'm still waiting for the round where Berlin gets his ultimate online to see if he's going to try some of the stuff that he was attempting in previous matches versus EDG, trying to jump off the map, use his ultimate to teleport across, cancel it, and then Shrouded step back onto the map, and then he got shot in the face. But the idea is there. It's just, if he can make that work, he's going to look like the greatest player ever. But this round, well, any kills would be nice, and any damage they can do. On the other side of things, as always, the Heretics have got a couple of pistols that they can use as, well, in this...
I guess look to just punish anybody that gets aggressive.
If they catch someone, get an orb. The thing is, none of their ultimates are even remotely close. Lysor is the closest, and I don't think it's worth risking giving stuff over to the other side. So Boo is going to gamble. He wants to try and get himself a little closer. Only has a pistol to play with, so it's an orb for an orb. Not
in the last round, the traps were there awaiting them. Although we'll have Thrash going through first, you've still got to avoid those traps. That's exactly what Mini Boo does. Updraft dash takes Heaven control, but no punish just yet there. Lysor eventually falls from the jump up. Mini Boo looks to be a thorn in their side up in Heaven, not just by himself, but with two players, make that nobody. Woot dies, and the fallback from Boo now leaves Mini Boo alone.
They've seen him. It seems like it. Lots of utility being expended, and he's isolated. And this puts the advantage with the defense. Rians and Benji. A little bit of an angle over the top, which might just give the game away. A nice shot from Rians, puts things back into a 2 versus 2. And for a moment, it looked like Ayung was going to try and jump around, but he's thought better of it. That time continuing to tick. Rians continuing to land every shot. 4 kills for him in this round. That Sova switch seems to just work for him. An agent
dealt with the utility thrown down and him forced out of position. And that Woot got caught going up. You know, the idea was to have 3 players there to take a fight, to maybe even flash through the smoke. That's when Heretics start to look somewhere else, start to move and abandon those lurk catches. Well, if Berlin hadn't walked in with his back turned, I think that could have been a different fight. Instead, Mini Boo grabs the opening. It does spur them onto the B side where everyone's waiting, and it's Ayung taking 2 headshots at that with the Guardian. And they're in a bit of trouble jumping across that bridge because Ayung's still waiting. His 4th kill locked in already. And Benji Fishy left in an impossible situation. 3 players and Ayung looking for the ace. He's got it locked in.
I don't think they're going to be too worried. But of course, coming into this tournament, you want to start clean. You want to start as clean as possible, because you know if you win this one, you've got your grand final again. Yeah. We've already seen 1 grand final rematch. I think most people were expecting a second. This group truly is terrifying. Life though, well, that's just absurd. He just tried something so risky, and he has walked into. Yep, that's the whole Heretics team.
That is everybody. Ayung might be in a position to get under that. I think it's just about going to catch him. We'll see. Yeah, he's had to break it as he makes his way through, and now they're aware. They're turning.
Would have made it if he was bold. That's all I'm saying. Another win for the bold gang.
Another win, the first win, let's say.
Wow.
Team Heretics, 4 versus 1 at this point. It seems to be locked in, but it's Ayung on the other side. I'm not certain it'll be an easy victory.
So you're very reliant on the solo initiator, or, and in most cases it's the or, Life to be an initiator with his face. So he's going to go running into angles, flashing into angles. You'll see it, no matter the agent, if he plays Jet, if he plays Raze, because they're more reliant on him to do stuff like that. And unfortunately, it was rough on the way in. And I also think the dart, yeah, you could just see the combination of utility. You had the dart, the immediate Hunter's Fury, and then the Dizzy that just left
So many of those are Guardian kills. So many of those are 1-taps. 50 seconds on the clock. Spike's already made it to the B site. Planted as we speak. Woot, well, his Dizzy's gone. He's going to play aggressive. He's not going to recover that Dizzy up top instead to try to disorientate the team. a defensive side with a flare of aggression. Benji's caught one on the flank, but there's a lot more coming. 20 HP left on iYoung. That'll limit his impact. Autumn, I thought he had something special up his sleeve, but just the one to be found. Still, though, a 2 versus 2. If iYoung had full HP, I might even favor them in this position. I might favor them still. A chance with both solo. 10 HP in the difference. Shock dart in. Rien's finding it. And double digits is locked in. This, considering limited investment. Oh, and the push through into heaven.
Leaving one player there, it's Berlin. He's going to be actually pinged immediately by the Dizzy, but it allows him to go back into position. Woot, though, defending his little bro. That means they're going to get into that after plant. Utility retrieved. The rest so far away. iYoung, though, has pushed in on his own, and well, he's going to get double swinged for it. A little bit over-aggressive, a little bit individualistic, and because of that, the rest of his team are now still manning. That's another kill to their name, putting things back, but again, Rien's so clean, so confident in these late round scenarios. Autumn's just going to try and get in and defuse this, but actually, I was going to say maybe he wouldn't be pulled off, but I think he has been. The angle not being able to be kept, and eventually it's going to fall flat on its face. Another round where Rien's the last one.
Flash. Should have another. There it is. Popped and ult completed. Not able to find anything. Sending the decoy through. Just buying the space. Keeping them back in the choke point as the defuse starts. Now he'll body block. Look to absorb those bullets for his teammate. They've killed Life. And now they need the diffuser. Looks like they'll get him just in time. With it ticking away, all they have to do is deny that defuse with the man advantage to their back. And the classic kills to close it out. That's 12-9 FPX.
Home about Blade Storm in. iYoung also has the ult available, and Berlin's gone pushing. So is Autumn.
Yeah, they got all the control. They know it's an A hit that's coming through. The thing is, Benji, oh, he doesn't react in time. The player on the side of his screen. Autumn's picked him up, and now the flank comes underway, or the quicker rotation through the vents. iYoung able to grab one, and it's Lysor's double. At least giving them a chance in this with low HP, the decay fading, but Boo still on 54. They'll have a tough time in closing this one out. And indeed, they baited out immediately, aware that he's going to be trying something nasty like that. He needs to start spraying. He knows this could be being diffused, and they're waiting for just that. He's seen both. Now he knows it's not even half just yet. He's got a bit more time to play with 4 bullets, and not enough to take them down. The defuse will go across the line for FPX. They'll reach double digits, but they still need 2 more.
Yeah, I think he was incredibly wary of the flank initially, just because those were the players that push mid to cut. They haven't been able to get away with a lot on this portion of the map, and had to go for something quite a bit later. 2 rounds the difference. 2 rounds is all they've had. But as we've seen, they're very good at streaking rounds together.
With these weaker weapons, I'm not expecting much. Woot, though, has the rifle and is able to grab himself at least the trade to start this one off. Moving towards the site, we'll see the plant come in. Shock dart lineup, though. Grabwell already used to start this one off. Flank spotted as well. Lysor won't get a free kill, but with Boo falling, the numbers thin out. They dealt with flank, but they haven't dealt with the defuse, and the Hunter's Fury way too late. They'll get a tag, but that's all, and an ult expended for little to no impact.
Yeah, they might be able to hold on to their weapons and again make
for Vents, but they will get nothing. Heretics left down in the dirt. 12-12. We're going to overtime on map number 1. This was looking like Heretics.
Been both teams now that I've expected it to go dominantly to FPX after an incredible first half. Then I was like, okay, well, this is done. And now it's gone to OT, but probably in one of the weird...
Nothing this time. Going to be much quicker rotations going around, plugging the gap that's on middle, and mainly trying to support this B site. Unfortunately, they won't be there in time. Look who snuck into position, though. Boo. It's not a normal spot to be playing from, and they're not even going to clear it. They're not even looking this way. That's the spike right in front of him. He's letting it get half planted just in case he can find another kill, and not quite, but he does the damage. Lysor on 8 HP, but the advantage sits with FPX, and it's Lysor that's going to go forward to plant this spike, I believe uncontested, unless there's a crazy shock dart. There actually was! Rien's fires it in and takes him down! And Autumn and Berlin, now another man sent in to plant this spike, a death sentence most of the time. I believe another, oh, it's a reveal, in fact, not a shock this time. It was sent through, and it's caught the information. They know where FPX are holding this from. Autumn needs to start this defuse yet again. The swing is in, but the shots don't land. FPX punish this time, and it's Heretics to push to 13. Riens with a phenomenal round. That shock dart was perfect.
They're going to be sober. Bear in mind, last time they played this map, he wasn't playing sober. He was playing Breach. So that's something they've brought in for the game today. And it has been disgustingly good. Whether it's revealed.
Well to deny. Benji's been in this position quite a few times, more than a handful of times. But this time they're not checking it in time. Luckily, Lysor reacts, finds the kill. The defuse started, at least that's as far as Heretics know. Some kills come through though. They reclaim the space. The Odin takes Lysor. The drop from Berlin is good. Able to at least find the one, and Riens is incredibly low. Boo's caught up top. That's a big mistake. All he has to do now is root out Riens and deal with Woot, but that's a big task halfway when Riens swings in to close it out. 14.
Incredible performance from them in the end. It was a back and forth all the way through a map that we favored for FPX. A map that, as said, they looked incredibly good on, but ultimately the hero plays.